Welcome back, Nap Chappers. Sally and Beck here, ready to talk you through nap training.
We are ready.
Spoiler alert,
We are
that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
No niceties, no
it's
intro.
on everyone's lips. No.
Nap
We're getting
training,
stuck into it.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, no niceties, no icebreakers today, because this is a topic that everyone just wants to get underway. Like, they are so ready for the information, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the way you and I tackle it means that it's not as scary as it's made out to be. Because we'll be the first to say naps are tricky. Nights, there's a reason why we tackle nights first with any kind of sleep training or sleep work, and then we follow up and transfer the skill to naps. But we have, as always, method to our madness and a bit of a formula. But I think it would be really helpful for listeners to know how we go about nap training. We'll talk mostly about the way we stagger the approach, not necessarily the technique, because that's going to be very nuanced from family to family and scenario to scenario, but where to even begin with nap training. So I think if we talk about it for babies on 3 naps and babies on 2 naps, where do we start? So in this episode, we're going to presume your baby can self-settle at bedtime and is sleeping beautifully overnight, plus or minus a couple of age-appropriate feeds, and back down until morning. Nights are under control. You know that your baby has these self-settling skills. If you are not there yet, you need to go. That's where we recommend go back and start there, and then come back to this episode once you're up to naps. So, presuming all of that, let's start with a 3-nap baby. You and I, and correct me if I'm wrong, start with nap training, nap 2.
This is correct.
Rather than nap 1. And I love explaining why. Because once you get it, you get it. You're like, that makes so much sense. So, and sorry if anyone's watching this, I'm a bit wibbly wobbly. I'm in an Airbnb. We're on the road. We've taken nap trap on the road. I'm in regional Victoria, and you're balancing on my lap, so I can be close to the charger. But the reason we start with nap 2 is that we always want to protect the work that you've done at bedtime and overnight. And if we start with nap 1, there is every chance, and it's definitely happened to me, particularly in the early days of sleep consulting, and maybe it's happened to you too, Beck, where a baby does not go to sleep. And then we are left chasing our tail for the rest of the day. Feeds have to come in early, naps are choppy, and then you're stuck with an early bed and everything's just thrown out of whack when you've worked so hard to get these nights looking so amazing. So in order to protect that work, we actually continue to fully assist the first nap of the day. Get it in, no big deal, nothing to see here, folks. And then we work on nap 2, which on our schedules is also the longest nap of the day, meaning that your baby has the most amount of time to practice this skill. And if that nap does not go very well, which absolutely happens, you and I are unfazed about that, because we have nap 3 to rescue the day, keep bedtime, the last feed, dinner, all on track, and protect your nights. Now, I know that makes sense in my head. Did it make sense for listeners?
Absolutely. I think you're very good at explaining it in a step-by-step way.
Step by step. Surprise, surprise. I talk through this a lot with a lot of families, as do you, Beck.
Yeah.
I will also say that the first goal, for me at least, when we are working on naps, is not that a baby takes this huge, long 2-hour nap that we've got on the schedule. My first goal is that they fall asleep for the nap. So first comes falling asleep at bedtime for me, then the night follows suit, then comes falling asleep for the nap, and then comes the final piece of the puzzle, the trickiest one for most babies, which is linking the sleep cycle. So I will get families to do a 5-minute wind down routine before nap 2, and then you treat it just like bedtime. So whatever technique you have used at bedtime, you then do the same to teach the self-settling, you then do the same for the nap. So that your baby thinks, oh, I know this pattern. I might not be thrilled because I'm used to this other really heavy-handed assistance. Like something's different here and I don't like change. But, okay, this is what the expectation is. And, okay, I understand the assignment. I'm going to fall asleep. I've got these great skills. All 45-minute comes around. Hello, I've done my sleep cycle. I've never had to link it during the day. I need help. And that's when I would say initially, okay, we go in and rescue. Like mission accomplished. We really break it down to make this sustainable so you don't feel like there's crying all day and all night. You know, we want to minimize tears as much as possible. How do you do it with a 3-nap schedule?
With a 3-nap schedule, if everything is going really well through the night and baby's jamming with the technique that we're using, I'll typically assist, and you're the same. We assist all the naps until sort of like day 3 or 4 or until they start resisting. Sometimes it can be happening immediately where they're really resisting all the help. But I'll often encourage families to maybe offer a little opportunity to self-settle, like for a nap. So for nap 1.
So it's the first nap?
Maybe because quite often nap 1 is easier to achieve than nap 2. But the problem that we have with our scheduling is that we're really tight. Like we have really tightly capped naps to preserve sleep pressure to wind up with a really great optimized day going into the night. So we don't have all the time in the world to kind of dick around with nap 1. So nap 1 is typically, up to 45 minutes for that one. And so if we were to allow an opportunity to self-settle and it took 42 minutes, then we're a little bit up the creek because, that's pushing everyone out. So what I often do with my families is just say, let's just dip our toe in, let's be curious. So being curious is just, can I put my baby into the cot awake for their nap, do the whole pre-nap routine, pop them in awake, duck away, maybe start making a start on dinner. We're chopping carrots. We're staying busy to sort of take our minds off of it. 5 or 10 minutes. If it's working, great. If they're sort of calming down and looking like it's all coming together, leave it for another 5 minutes and let's just see if it comes to fruition. If it's going super south, then totally fine. We assist.
Rescue.
We are assisting 100% and we're just doing the nap as we normally would, rock, pat, hold, cuddle, whatever. And then we would focus again on nap 2. So at that point. Some families are a little bit like, oh, I'm really unsure. I really want to rock the boat. And so I'm always working with comfort levels. So there are times where we might dip our toe in for the afternoon nap and then rescue and so forth. And we might do that for a couple of days before.
After third nap. Yeah.
Cowboys. Oh, not for the third nap, just not the third nap.
I was
just nap 2. I think I might have. Yeah, I know. Wow. Whew. No, I'd
really
be sweating bullets. Yeah, no, I'd be sweating bullets. So no, we are just doing micro little toe dipping for nap 1 and nap 2. We are fully assisting nap 3. So
that's
I
the
think that sometimes that's just enough to sort of like, let's just give it a whirl. Let's be curious. And then when we finally get to the point of like, okay, nights are looking absolutely amazing. Like we've just got to like take the handbrake off here. Then that's when I go in with nap 2, just like you do, just to get it achieved. And usually it just takes them one day and then they're like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing here. Some families will be a little bit unsure about, hang on, why can we be curious here and then rescue the nap? Isn't that teaching a little bit of intermittent reinforcement where I'm going to give you the opportunity, I'm going to risk, like, here's a go at using the technique, but I'm actually going to, if you cry
Are you
for
talking
long
about
enough,
for
I'm
nap
going
1
to,
when you dip your toe?
Yeah. And then if you cry for long enough, I'm just going to rock and pat and hold and cuddle you. And the answer to that is no, because we are, I'm going to say we're not really even using the technique at this point because it's just, it's just 10 minutes. So you're kind of just being curious in the sense like, I'm going to hang out a load of washing and then I'm going to get to you, rather than going in.
A longer la pause, if you will.
Yeah, that's right. So we're not starting something and then finishing, but also daytime sleep is controlled by a different part of the brain to nighttime sleep. So we can do things a little differently and it doesn't interrupt progress or reinforce anything. So that's how
And
I
it's
sort of
also
do
very
naps.
short-lived, you know, because our plans, we've got a plan. It's not that we're just going to sit and plateau there with have a cry, be rescued, have a cry, be rescued. It's all part of the bigger picture of where this needs to go. I rarely dip my toe in for nap one, purely because I often find families can feel a bit intimidated about nap work. And so if I just sort of zero in on just nap 2 and then, you know, the status quo is exactly the same, I find a lot of families are just, you know, they can just focus on one thing and keep everything else as it is. But what I will often find is that when nap 2 is looking good, even for just 1 or 2 days, parents will then they will be the ones to want to dip their toes in, because I might say, okay, in my head, I think, okay, we'll give this another 24 hours. Like, this is going really well. Let's just write it out. You know, sometimes it's like great 2 naps and then 1 shocker and blah, blah, blah. And then they'll say to me, do you think we could get started on nap 1? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Green light. Like,
Yeah,
particularly
chuck
if it's
them
coming
in,
from
get it
parents,
done.
like, absolutely. And then we have a rescue
Yeah.
plan. I would say probably, okay, if by 15, 20 minutes, it's not looking good, we rescue it, we stay on track, and then we try again the next day. And at some point, you do need to sort of bite the bullet and be like, okay, we're all in for nap 1, but I want nap 2 to be looking good so that everyone knows we are not asking a baby to do anything they don't already know how to do.
I think I love listening to you explain things to our listeners, and hopefully I can do the same for the listeners as well. I never quite know, because I feel like a lot of my thoughts are very jumbled and they don't necessarily come out the way that I, anticipate them. But I hope that it's really clear to our listeners just how thoughtful our plans are and how our solutions are really designed with families and their comfort levels and understanding and knowledge around babies and the way things are presented to us and how we read them and how we interpret the sleep work. Because we aren't, when we're working with families and parents and really tired mums, nothing is guesswork for us. We literally have seen and heard it all before, and we know what we're doing, and we want to make sure that your experience is handled so professionally with positive impact at all times. Does that make sense? Like, I really want our families to know that we've got you, and that while naps are really tricky, we have a really solid plan in place. And if our solid plan has a few detours, they are deliberate detours to get you to the end in the end. Does that make sense?
Yes, or they're detours that, if it's baby-induced detours, like it's not one of our detours, that's okay. We won't go into a tailspin about it, because if you've got everything else lined up, it is just a matter of repetition and time.
Yeah, time is a big factor for naps, and sometimes we don't have the beauty or the indulgence of loads of time with you, but we just know that we can get you onto a path where you will be able to experience incredible naps, because you will have time once we're off the scene to keep working
Here
on them.
Here are all the tools and the most rock solid foundations, and you've even seen baby do it. And yes, it will continue. You don't change the system or the plan once we sign off. And I would even go so far to say that our system of nap training even involves, so for a 3-nap baby, if we are focusing on nap 2, whether or not we're dipping our toe, but if we're really wanting nap 2 to then consolidate, so linking the sleep cycle when we get to that step, we will trim nap 1 down to give extra sleep pressure for nap 2.
Yeah.
There is so much thought behind this so that you have optimal success. even if baby's like, no, I'll still just do one sleep cycle, there is nothing, everything else is out of our control.
Mm-hmm.
You just rescue the day with an earlier, slightly earlier, maybe longer nap 3. You get to bedtime and you rinse and repeat the next day. And you rinse and repeat the next day. And once nap 2 is looking good, you apply it to nap 1. And you and I will sign off with family still with a fully assisted nap 3. That's where I've got no interest in nap training nap 3. In fact, sometimes I'm like, could you please assist? I just need to know that you'll get to bedtime. If that baby, it's a curveball. They can throw curveballs for nap 3.
Yeah, and like I'm always like, wow, what a cowboy when like mum or dad decide to put baby down for the third nap, just, like into the cot. What? You know, like they're
especially
throwing caution to the wind.
When baby then takes it. And you're like,
wow, totally.
Okay, cool. That was all part of the plan. I knew that would happen.
Yeah. But I think in terms of like sleep work, one of the greatest ages to work on sleep is actually when they are within the age of having a third nap.
Yes,
because
I agree.
it gives us the opportunity it can go a little tits up through the day with the naps while we're working on them, but the third one will anchor that beautiful night
it saves
for
you.
us. It does save you. So it tidies up all the loose ends in terms of like it might have been a bit wonky. It doesn't have to look perfect because we've got the third nap. So
third nap with no rules too.
With no rules. So if you're ever thinking like, is it too early to sleep train? Absolutely not. Like if you've got 3 naps, it's a great time.
Absolutely. Because one of the other things that we should touch on briefly, and there's always going to be like, this isn't going to ever be the perfect answer because babies wake up at different times and different ages need different sleep totals before bed. But essentially, if you are nap training nap 2 and you're at the point where baby will do 1 sleep cycle and you're no longer rescuing, you are working to the nap time and you are actively nap training the remainder of the nap. If your baby does not go back to sleep, 1, not a failure. We've talked about this in another episode before. Not a failure at all. Baby just doesn't know what the pattern is, and the subsequent days will get better and better and better. If your baby falls asleep in the last 10 minutes of the nap, and we see this all the time, they have fussed and said, I'm not going back to sleep. And then they're like, actually, you know what? I will, but I'm going to do it at the worst. You wake them still at the end of the scheduled nap. You don't let them go and do another sleep cycle, even though never wake a sleeping baby. We are going to get you to wake that sleeping baby, and you push through with the scheduled nap. Even though you had this big, fussy, clunky mess in the middle, you protect the next nap by waking them at the end of the scheduled nap time, if that makes sense. You push on with your feed time, you push on with the scheduled third nap. Everyone's a bit tired. Doesn't matter. It all comes out in the wash because the next day, that like 40-minute fuss becomes 15 minutes and then they put themselves back to sleep. And then the next day, that 15 minutes becomes, they've rolled over and fussed for 35 seconds. And oh my goodness, have they just linked their sleep cycle? So you cap the nap 2 if they've just fallen back to sleep. At least that's what I do. But the other, we always need a contingency plan of some babies just don't go back to sleep, particularly in the first 1 or 2 days. Not a fail. You need to then use your full wake window from when they actually awoke, when they actually woke up, to know when nap 3 is going to be. And it may be that nap 3, is usually 30 minutes on the schedule. We might need to give them 45 in order to get them well rested and to bedtime. But fundamentally, the calculation in your head is that you use your full wake window from when they actually woke to know when nap 3 is.
Perfect.
Does that make sense?
It does. Really makes sense. I might elaborate just a little bit on why you wake your little one if they have gone back to sleep. So
yes,
for
please
some parents, if you're at the end of nap 2 is designed to be 2:15 and little Johnny goes back to sleep at 2:07 and you are still waking at 2:15. Good old Johnny. The reason is because your little one at this age still obviously needs a third nap.
Mhm.
If little Johnny goes back off to sleep at 2:07 and you don't get him up until 3:20 because that's when he wakes, you've got an absolute shit show of a chance of getting that third nap in. Absolutely no way in hell. I mean, there are obviously exceptions to the rule, but the majority of babies that we work with are never then going to take their third nap.
No, because we don't work with easy sleepers. Like, we'd be out of a job if they were like, do you know what? I will take that third nap no matter what time.
Exactly. So if we're working on wake windows, if Johnny woke at 3:20 and he's going back down for his third nap, 2.5 hours is going to get you to 3:20. That's like 5:50. 5:50 is going to be his nap. 6:20 is when he's going to get up. 8:20 is going to be his bedtime. I don't think I know anyone who's prepared to do that kind of thing.
No, but you also got to be thinking so much. Like, you got to rejig your whole evening. And come 5 o'clock, I'm done with rejigging. Personally.
The third nap is there to for your rejigging purposes. But we do want it to be somewhat flexible depending on what time they woke. But we would rather you wake Johnny at 2:15 so that nap 3 is on point and everything else for the rest of the day remains similar than to bust a gut and try and get things back on track. Because not only that, you're going to have to put some sort of extra feed in there because the feed time will be, you know what I mean? Like, everything sort of gets bumped out.
They're going to at some point have slept through one, or you're adding an extra one in because you got a later bed.
Yeah, it all seems to get a little bit
messy.
Really, really messy. So yes, you treat the fact that Johnny went back off to sleep at 2:07 as a huge momentous win.
Massive.
Good boy. Absolutely.
I am cheering you on, Johnny.
What a legend. But 2:15, wake up, mate.
Yeah.
Let's crack on.
Because you and I, we are employed for a reason. We are fixing a problem.
Yeah.
Or we are meeting a goal, and so we need to micromanage the day.
We are 10 steps ahead of you in a really nice way.
Yes.
We are, the reason we cap that nap is so that we know we're giving you the best chance of having a really great night. And then tomorrow we're working, nap 2 will be different because we've capped it. We are always 10 steps ahead directing you to give you the best possible outcome.
Yeah.
And so that we know exactly if there's wakings overnight, we know exactly why they are happening.
Yes, and we will have pre-gamed you to say, now remember, your nights have been looking amazing for 4 or 5 nights. We are now playing around with naps. Even though you have rescued the day with nap 3 as per our backups plan, your nights may still take a hit. Your only job is to remain consistent. We will have pre-gamed you, the ultimate hype men, to say you got this. This is don't panic.
It comes free with gifts if required.
Oh, yes. All the emojis.
At 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I like the cheerleader one, woo. Or we just take the next day for what it is. Like, we put a line through it the night before, whatever, move through. Like, we've got momentum here. We keep going forward. Now, hopefully that then makes sense. So we focus on nap 2. When nap 2 is looking good, first comes falling asleep, then comes the nap training, which is often required to lengthen out the nap. It usually takes a couple of days. Then I usually start on nap 1, or if you're like Beck, maybe you've already dipped your toe in and surprise, baby has taken to it beautifully. Fantastic. As Beck said, nap 1 is nearly always the easiest because there's almost like a bit of a hangover from overnight sleep pressure. And that's also why when we work, particularly with older babies, we are actually having to trim down their first nap because it becomes problematic. So many babies love to take this huge, long first nap and then, we're left with crumbs for the rest of the day to try and convert into a well-rested baby. So hopefully that makes sense for nap 3. You focus on the second nap of the day. You then transfer you treat it just like bedtime and overnight. First comes falling asleep, then comes linking the sleep cycle, then comes nap 1 if you haven't already, and nap 3, we don't want to know about it. No nap training. Please just fully assist if you're working with us so that we protect everything, okay? Because you're dropping it. That's why.
Yeah.
We're not keeping it forever. We just need it in.
Yep.
Now let's talk about if you have a 2-nap baby, where are we going to start? And I'll say, I think we need to be even more specific. A baby not on the transitional schedule. So not having the 30 minutes in the morning, because we know
like
that one's
9 to
fully
12 months.
assisted. Yeah,
Yeah.
9 to 12 months. You've officially dropped the third nap. We haven't needed to bring it back in. Where do we start with nap training?
Are we going to go with the OG schedule where it's like 9:30 to 11, 2 to 3:30?
Mm-hmm. And do you start with the first nap of the day or the second nap of the day when you are nap training that?
I'm just trying to think. I actually start with the first one.
I start with the first one.
Yeah, I do, because we've got an hour and a half. We've got literally got an hour and a half, and like it doesn't matter if they take 45 minutes to fall asleep, because we've still got 45 minutes until the end of the nap, and that's enough to still do a 3-hour wake window to nap 2. It doesn't matter if they take an hour and 10 minutes to fall asleep. Like, I know we sound like really hardcore. I'm still capping it. Yeah. But it will still mean that the second half of the day remains exactly the same, which is 100% what we want to continue these really amazing nights. So nap 1 for me on a 2-nap schedule, 9 to 12 months. Nap 1.
Yes, I'm exactly the same. And sometimes I think, I like working with 3-nap babies for the reason you mentioned before, which is, okay, it's all gone tits up. Don't worry, we've got third nap rescue plan. Rescue. Obviously, we work with a lot of 9 to 12-month babies who are on 2 naps. But the benefit then is that you have the power of the first nap being the easiest one. So usually it takes, 10 to 12 minutes of fussing, standing. Oh, yes, mum's being really consistent here. She's treated just like bedtime, and actually I'm really tired. And they fall asleep. They may not link the sleep cycle. No problem. You either rescue the nap initially and then you start doing some more active nap training, or they take a long, long, long time to fall asleep and they've really got some stamina. And then, as in your example, they fall asleep, but then you wake them at the scheduled end time. You cap it so that you protect. And then I would fully assist nap 2. So you just work one nap at a time. Protect nap 2 so you don't have to juggle everything and don't feel chained to the cot, and get to bedtime, and then you can come back to nap 1 and feel confident that actually nap 1 is the easier nap of the day.
That's right. So there's so many nuances to nap work and like naps in general. That I always take my hat off to families who are able to work this all out by themselves. Like if you've got an incredible sleeper and you've been blessed with a child that is able to happily fall asleep readily and easily take these nice long chunky naps, and you've never really had to consider them beforehand, like amazing, so amazing. But there are times where your amazing sleeper will tend to sort of fall apart for whatever reason. Age and stage is a really big one. So once they're starting to learn to pull to stand, you may never have had to work on naps beforehand, but you've got a little one now who's pulling to stand, or they're starting to walk, and so they're pacing around their cot. They're more mobile, they're more active, they're giving you a little bit more jib at the beginning of the naps and so forth. It can become a little harder. So it's about coming up with a really clear plan of how you're going to tackle them, and timing wise, it's important to sort of get all of that hunky dory. But yeah, having a plan of how you're going to tackle which nap when is just a game changer in terms of how you apply your consistent approach.
And I think it is worth saying that, and I see this often with other sleep consultants, particularly ones that do active sleep training, they'll often do it all at once. And that is always an option. I have found over the years, I can think of maybe one time in living memory where I've done it. I've nearly always stagger the process because it can feel like a lot. It can feel like potentially a lot of crying, and we want to minimize that. But also it can feel like your nights take a backward step because of the day work, and it feels hard. It can feel hard and messy. That's not to say it's not possible. In fact, you'd probably have like quote unquote faster results, by ripping the Band-Aid, so to speak. But the way that we've the formula that we've got means that this is really sustainable. It's absolutely achievable, and you still have flexibility with, okay, I don't want to be chained to the cot for all of these naps. Great. You're going to keep nap 1 and nap 3 on the go. Great. You're going to keep nap 2 on the go, and you're just going to focus on 1. You feel great. You've seen baby do it, and it all kind of just irons out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I have also seen another lovely sleep consultant talk about how she often says to families, give naps a month. Not to say that it will take a whole month to see any kind of progress, but let it lock in. Naps are hard. Nights, we always talk about like see results in just 3 nights. Naps take a longer amount of time. And so I think it's just good to have that awareness of you just keep turning up each day. Keep practicing, keep offering the appropriate opportunity at the right times, and it will absolutely fall into place.
Yeah, I agree. And, we've got if the second nap can sometimes have a little bit to do with calories, that type of thing, as little ones get older. So we're always available. Like if you are struggling, one of the things that we work really hard on is just assessing your day. So getting your logs in and so forth, and like sort of just having a little check over calories and what they're eating for lunches and all those sorts of things, just to really optimize their ability to be able to do a nice settle for a nap and then lengthen it all out. So there's other things that go into naps, not just the sleep training side of things, but you've just got to get those like basic things down pat first.
I think 2 of those other sort of basic foundational elements too are time down on the mat. A baby that's just been in the pram for the whole wake window or in arms, often, with every subsequent baby, they have less opportunity to just like hang out. They've got to go be on the go a bit more, but we need them to essentially exercise, exhaust themselves a little bit so they are ready enough to not only fall asleep but stay asleep. But also I want that room really dark. I work with tricky sleepers who want to find any sliver of light. And when we're talking about, an almost 1-year-old on a 2-nap schedule, and we're wondering why they won't fall asleep for the second sleep cycle of nap 2, and it's broad daylight, it's an easy fix with no sleep training involved. So pitch black, time down on the mat, calories, all the things. But hopefully this has explained the how and the why we stagger the nap training process.
Love it.
We pick our
battles. What a great topic. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Although it throws things out, inevitably, I love it because there's a system.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And once you've got it, you've got it. And that's the thing. Like, once naps come together, it does feel like winning the lotto. Like there is just something so great about the nap happening.
I had mums message me to say they've gone for a swim in the backyard pool, with the monitor for the first time. Yeah. Or what do you mean I got to eat lunch and watch Real Housewives all by myself? I'm like, yes, this is what nap time should be. Put down the, cleaning equipment and put your feet up. Or I actually worked on my own business. Like this just naps.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a break. We love our babies, love. And it's okay to love nap time and bedtime.
I'm working with a lady at the moment. We're working with her 7-month-old, and she's got twins that are in the 2s.
Oh, cute.
And she's amazing and super funny. But the idea is that we get the twins and the baby on the same sort of sync schedule so that their nap is happening at the same time through the day. So we're working towards a 12:30 to 2 nap so that all children go off to sleep and it's a bit of downtime for mum.
That is the Holy Grail.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So you'll know what I'm focusing on this week, team. Getting that organised.
Go team. I believe in you, Beck. If anyone can do it, it's you. All right. On that note, happy napping, everyone. Go forth and have a plan and do it. Just do it. Just nap train.
Just do it.
Yep. And then you won't be nap trapped. You can still wear the cap though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Take it out for
Or
your
you can be nap trapped for nap 3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, clearly passionate about that. I know you're off to get some lunch back, and I am too. So we will see you on the next episode of Nap Trapped.
Catch you later.
Bye.